Presented by EA Sports. Coming up, it's the final game of Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a good NFC matchup in store between the Arizona Cardinals and the Dallas Cowboys. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
To throw is Prescott. He's got his man on the crossing route. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. A first down carry by Elliott. And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. Tackle made there by Josh Bynes. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
On second down, Elliott. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Robert Kimdichie, the one to bring him down.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
On third down, it's Prescott. And that is incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
So on fourth down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. The Pro Bowler Patrick Peterson back deep for Arizona. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll run with a former Tar Heel, T.J. Logan. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. And Gresham has it left side. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. And this offense on your screen, one of the guys who knows how to win football games, Larry Fitzgerald.
Plenty of athleticism, but plays the game with incredible intelligence.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Here we go. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Now Rosen to throw on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And, Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one because, to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out, finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them. And we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things.
Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Let's go.
They'll try and throw for it with Rosen. This one complete to Gresham. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out.
Well, peel back the curtain, partner. We've got a pretty good look into how they plan to play this game. Aggressive seems to be the word. Going for it on 4th down in that situation.
Yeah, opening drive. Now, we know this coaching staff, they have traits of aggression in their history, but what a start to this game. They're going for it.
Yeah, a lot of people might say reckless, but they got it. 1 for 1 on 4th down here early in the game. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll run it here with Logan. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A great effort there. Taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Cardinals have taken the early lead. I think that's the dream start right there. The defense stands up on the opening drive, then they go right down the field and score.
It's a positive start for your offense and your defense. And when you're talking about playoff football, what a great way to get things going.
Everything is magnified and amped up a little bit more.
To put it mildly.
That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And in the end, the finishing touch, an 11-yard run. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now back out comes the offense. I guess you could say they're kind of fortunate to be in the position that they're in, able to host as a division champ, because it's really one of the weakest divisions in the NFL.
And there's often the discussion every time, right, that 4th seed, should they actually be hosting? Because sometimes it turns out that division winner has a lesser record than wild card teams that get in, and some people think that'd be a more fair way of doing things. But I got to tell you, I personally like it. The winning a division title, how it's ranked, it still means something to me, and I like the fact that they get to host.
I think that that's the reason you have the divisions. If you didn't, just stack them all up. Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. Prescott from the gun. Looking and finding Allen Hurns. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. The give is to Elliott. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Well, that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
He's airing it out for Williams. And this is going to be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10 at the 20. After the interception, here's Rosen. Caught, right side, Gresham. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
All right, here we go.
On 1st down, it's Rosen. Flush to his right. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Fitzgerald bringing it in over the middle. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
This is Logan. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. He had the big touchdown run on the 1st drive and more room to maneuver right there.
And the big guys up front, they're feeling chesty and strong, creating nice openings for him.
From the red zone now, here's Rosen on 1st down. That is caught at the 7. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st. 2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. A reminder coming up at the half, as we've done all year. We'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown on what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin on the road to Super Bowl 53 in Atlanta. They'll give it to him up the middle. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. Prescott looks to throw on 1st. He's got Thompson here, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A very solid gain of 27. 1st down, Prescott. Forced out to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Second down, Prescott. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number one.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Prescott on 3rd and 2. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
Those really long field goals, when they are made, they are things of beauty. But there is a danger to getting them started, isn't there?
Yeah, with that low drive, you've got to really keep it low to the ground, don't you, to get that distance.
Yeah, hard to just pop it up in the air because otherwise it's not going to get there. So he's got to drive it low in order to have the distance, and that usually puts it in jeopardy, gives him a chance to block it, and everyone knows it on the other side. That's when you get your best jumpers on the other side of the field and try and get up and get it.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Fitzgerald's got it right side. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. Final play of the half here. It's Rosen. He's going to rifle one deep into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. It's the first of 2 games here on this wildcard Sunday. We'll get back out to you guys in just a moment. But first, let's take a look back to yesterday's NFC wildcard game. And it's the Detroit Lions who will fight another week as they knock off the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, nothing settled in our wild card game. It's a tight one as we get ready for the third quarter. Standing by to take you the rest of the way, let's get it back to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. On second down, here's Rosen. And Gresham, the tight end, brings it in. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Now it's Rosen, eluding the pressure right. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off right around the 43. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days. Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Prescott now on second down. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Marcus Golden in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying the football game. And they drew up the counter there. It worked. They're glad they drew up the counter.
And a lot of times what you're trying to do is just simply get the defense moving in one direction. It doesn't take much. Even one step's enough. Get them going in one direction and then cut back against the grain and let your running back finish it off and get the work done.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And we are tied at 7. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
Right back to him on 1st down. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, Rosen. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Logan. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Good route, good pickup for 1st down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because the running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 3rd down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now Rosen looking at a 3rd and 2. And this is going to be incomplete. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
10th carry now for Elliott. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35. The offense on third down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They only get 2 there, but on third and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Prescott on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Over the middle, it's complete. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A good pickup there, a 22.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. On 1st and 10, Prescott. He's airing it out for Williams. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Prescott on 2nd and 10. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Williams. And they move this
Commander, we just ranked up to 1 newbie, level 2, 206 hours, 30 coins. XP to next level, 40160.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. To the air again, Prescott. Oh, no, he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And barely able to knock it through. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the fourth quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. They run with Logan, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Partner, I think there's a lesson there. Some days you're just having a really tough time, and for the defense, today has been that day. But after that play, what do you learn? You can still make plays even when the other guy's having success against you.
Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that sure was pretty, because the corner route, it's extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is, because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a score to break this tie. Now Rosen to throw on 2nd down. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Taco Charlton in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football before he nowhere to go. Here he lost the football. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Here's Andy Lee now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Cowboys. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Prescott to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Jeff Swain, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark, really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. Here's Prescott. He's got the connection to Cole Beasley. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
We're going to 54.
A give to Elliott. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
At this stage, you've got to hustle. Got to get back to the line of scrimmage because you're saving that timeout to make sure you have a chance to get your kicker out there for the big shot.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup, right? This drive goes on. We're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to advance to the divisional round. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. And we need overtime to decide this one after 4 quarters of play. We're all even. The extra session in a moment. This is the NFL. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is TJ Logan to return it. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. They're set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team. And that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
Well, it's been loud in here so far. They run again with Logan. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
On the carry, it's Logan. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. Byron Jones in there to make the tackle.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down. And you definitely could make the case we might not even be in overtime had he not thrown 3 interceptions in regulation. But looking better here so far in OT.
Yeah, and when you think about what a coach is thinking at that point, because normally you've thrown 3 picks during the game, you might craft your play calling to be a little more careful. Not in this case. The green light is still on for him. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
And that is incomplete. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away. Well, I know you're toward the middle of the field here, but still, 4th down this distance, you got to punt it right.
That's definitely the first instinct, because you say, okay, let's just play some field position, make sure we don't lose the game here, turn it over in a key spot. But if you feel really good about your trigger guy, if you feel great about him, you might want to leave the ball in his hands and let him work his magic.
A gigantic call there in overtime, but it pays off with a first down. Larry Fitzgerald, no stranger to making big plays in overtime. I know you remember, Charles, divisional round 2015. Fitzgerald took a 75-yard pass to the 5 and then scored on a shovel pass to beat Green Bay.
That was something, wasn't it? And when it comes to Larry Fitzgerald, when I think of overtime, I always think big moments. This is a bigger stage, and it never bothers Larry Fitzgerald. In fact, he rises to it. Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Sean Lee, the Pro Bowler, there for the tackle.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On third down, that's Logan. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. Cardinals got to go quickly, hustling to the line.
We've seen this offense go for it on 4th down already on this drive. I wonder if they'll go for it again.
Well, certainly wouldn't rule it out with these guys. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. A gigantic call there in overtime, but it pays off with a first down. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settle it, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. And give him 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
Let's face it, you always want a team full of guys who can get you first downs and big plays of all styles. But you've got to have a big man you can just turn and hand it to, and he can be dependable in picking up first downs.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. That gets them 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal. They've had some success here in overtime in this opening drive running the football. Right back to that well.
And why not? When you have that kind of success, make them stop you, and until they do, keep going back to that well you just spoke about. I think there's more water there and available to them.
No, check, Patriot!
He'll get it up the middle. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. And with just 2 seconds remaining, the timeout is called here in OT. Another chance to maybe end it right here. This is 3rd and goal. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to score. It's a touchdown. No flags. And in an overtime thriller, they are moving on to the playoff.
No rest. They get to keep playing.
And a wild card win moves them on to the divisional round.
Everyone plays all year long for the right to get into the tournament, as they like to call it. Wild card, divisional, doesn't matter to them. One moves on, one goes home.
So that